Hello and welcome to my computer science NEA testing video. So here I've got a table for testing. As you can see, objectives 1 right here, just read all the data. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Access and I'm going to open up my table to show you that it's there. As you can see, this test is a success. Next, I'm going to run the code to show that the user can input a username between 4 and 12 characters, but not outside that range, and that the password must be between 8 to 20 characters and must have a capital letter and a number. So as you can see, if I try to make an account now, with a username that is just hi, and a password which is just a password that be accepted, it won't let me create the account. Whereas if I put it as an accepted username, it will. So let's try it above 12 characters for the username. So if I cell W, let's do acceptable password. Same error. Now if I have an acceptable username here, just be that. If I use a password with no capital letters and a letter that's above 8 characters, it'll error. If I have the password less than 8 characters, it will error. If I have a password without a capital letter, it will error. If I have a password without a number, it will also error. Test 3, that was a pass. Test 3, if you try to SQL inject, the code will self-destruct. So let me show you this now. So if I run the code again, if I put in select and try to create an account with the name select, it will crash and self-destruct. So that one was a pass. So this one I'm going to show you the code for connecting it to the database and searching for records. Then I'll run the program, create a new account, and then open the database to show you that it has been updated. So if I make an account with the username hello, let's say hello s, and the password is hello to you with capital H, and add a 1 to the end of it, I've created the account. Now if I go into my database and open up DBL accounts, it's there. So that test was a pass. Next, I'm going to run the program and create an account with the same username and password as the account created in test 4. And then I'll do that again. So I'll make the same account twice in a row and see what happens. So if I create the same account that was created, now if I try do that again and make an existing account, it'll error and say that it's already taken. So that test was a pass. Now I'm going to open Python and show you the program code for the entries and buttons of the main login menu. So if I scroll up here is all of the entries and buttons, the code behind it, for the main menu in this big box. This is tested in all of the previous tests, tests 1 to 5, as they showed that all of the code works. Now we're on to the main menu and cheats menu tests, objectives 2 to 3. So I'm going to open up the program, log in with an account, and show all the visuals, then press the play game button to show that it works as intended. So if I just go onto that same program, and I've got an account, a test account that I will use throughout the testing. I log in and I play the game. I can play the game like normal. Everything works fine. Everything works as intended. So that is a pass. Next, the cheats menu. I'm going to run the program, log in, and then show you that you can go from the main menu to the cheats menu with ease and vice versa. Then I'm going to activate cheats and show you how they work in the game. After that, I'll run the program and play normally to show you how it differs. So if I use my test account here, log in, if I go into the cheats menu, I go back, cheats, back. I can do that over and over again with no issues. I activate infinite coins and infinite tower upgrades and go back, play the game. I now have infinite coins. I can place as many towers as I like. As you can see, infinite coins. Now, usually, 3 upgrades till the max, but because I got max upgrades, I can just keep on upgrading my towers. Just like that. I'll run the program again. I'll log in with the same account, same testing account, and I'll just play normally. And as you can see, the coins, they're not infinite. You know, I can't buy upgrades, I can't buy any more towers because I have infinite coins. The maximum amount of upgrades will be 3. So that is a pass. Now on to the main game test, that's in the main game. So now we're on to testing the tower. So I'm going to show the code for the tower's attributes and how they get them. I'm going to run the program, activate cheats, and play the game and buy the different towers to show you how their range vary. I'm using the cheats just so it's quicker to speed up the process. So I actually have the money to buy the towers. So I got the cheats. So here is 3 different towers. As you can see, this one, small range, this one, large range, and this one, medium range. I'll show you the code for the towers. Down here, you can see the stats for the different towers. So the damage, then the colour and the upgrade cost. Or the range, the damage, colour and upgrade cost. As you see, the default one is a range of 50, 15 for the damage, cost you 100, and it's blue. The long range tower will have a range of 85, damage of 60, colour of this, and cost of this. And then the short range one will have a range of 40, damage of 10, this colour, and cost of this. So this test is a pass. On to test number 10. I will show you the code that makes the tower's range, damage, and price will increase with each upgrade, then run the program and show you how the upgrades work. Then show how only one upgrade menu can be opened at a time and how the X closes it. Then I'll show you how only one tower visual can be seen at a time to avoid visuals covering towers and getting confusing. Then I'll show you if you click on another tower whilst the menu is open, nothing will happen. Let me run the game. I'll log into my test account again. So let me activate cheats. So if I buy a tower, or buy a couple, as you see, if I click on this one, it only shows the range of this one. And if I click on this one here, it's not working. If I close this, I can click on the other one and it'll show the range for the other one. The reason I have this is so the grey boxes around the towers won't get too confusing for the player. So if I click on this and close the X, it'll close the menu. And yeah, this test is a pass. I'll close that down. Test 11, I'll show you the tower's visual code. Pretty simple. Tower's visual is going to be here. It's going to be some coordinates, a circle, and it's going to be filled with the color specified here with self.color. That's it. Number 12, I'll run the code normally, then show towers killing enemies. After that, I'll show you the code for the tower attacking. So, I'll show you that first, actually. Here we go. So, the towers will search for all the enemies in its range, and we'll check for that. We'll check for the enemies in the range, and then if it is, it'll make the enemy take damage. And in the enemy class, if I scroll down here, it will take damage, and if the health goes below 0, it deletes itself. Let me run the program to show you. So I'll use the test. So I'll show you if I place down a tower, this first tower hits it, this second one hits it, it will kill it. As you can see, it hits 15, hits it for another 15, and because the enemy has 30 health, it will die and have 0 and deletes itself. So this test was a pass. Now on to the enemy tests. I'll show the code for the enemy's attributes, then run the code and place 23 basic towers to show that the player gains coins when an enemy is killed. Then, when round 2 starts, show that the enemies have more health by doing nothing. Then, run the program again to show that the enemies on round 2 have a higher reward by killing them. I'm supposed to say 2, not 23. Sorry about that. So if I buy 2 towers, they'll kill all the enemies. If we wait a minute for us to get to round 2, you will see that the towers won't kill the enemies because they've got more health in round 2. round 2 is about to start. Round 2 starts. And the enemies have more health, they're getting further. They're having to get hit more. So there you go. That was a successful test for that part. Then I'll run it again and I'll show you the reward that they give. I'll log in, hit a game, place, 2 towers, and you can see they're giving 10 coins at the moment. So when it gets to round 2, they should be giving 15 coins rather than 10. So I'll show you that once we get to round 2. So as you see, round 2 started. We're getting 15 coins if I don't die. Let me run that again. As you can see from that that was some bad tower placement. Enemies had more health there, so they got through. Yeah, 10 coins here. Time is going up perfectly fine. When it gets to a minute, it's going to go to round 2. Every minute, a new round will start. The enemies will get more health. To avoid what happened last time, I'm going to buy another tower just to make sure that the enemies don't get through. As you see, round 2 starts now. We're at 20 coins. Now we're at 35. We're getting 15. We do that again. Get another 15. We're at 50, and so on. So this test is a success. I'll now show you the code for the rounds and the code for the enemy subroutine that gets their stats. So the code for the enemy subroutine is very similar to the one for the tower. It will input an enemy type. Depending on that type, it will get their health, speed, and the reward they give when you kill them. The code for the rounds will be all the way in the main game class. Yeah, these are the rounds. You see, every 5 seconds in round 1 and round 2, and enemies will spawn. Enemy type 1 will spawn in round 1, enemy type 2 will spawn in round 2. In round 3, every 4 seconds an enemy spawns, and that'll be enemy type 3 that spawns, and so on, as you can see. So this test was a success. Okay, number 15, enemies should have red boxes as their visuals. This is tested through 13, 14, and all the tower tests. You've seen the enemies, they've got red boxes. This is a pass. However, I will show you the code for that. So, if I go and scroll down, I will find the enemy visual. Here we go. So they have a circle or a square. Actually, they are as a rectangle square, and their fill is red. So they're just red squares, to be honest. Yeah, there you go. Happy days. Um, Number 16, I'm going to run the code and place a regular tower. And you're going to see a hit marker number show up when it hits the enemy. Um, Again, I'm always going to use the test account. It's just easier to log into this. Yeah, if I place a tower here, you see if I click on its range, and it'll put up number 15 for a second. So if you watch that, number 15, that's the amount of damage it's doing. Now, a hit marker won't pop up when an enemy dies, because this is to save memory. There's just no need for this, and it just makes the game more simple. If a new hit marker pops up, the old one that was there before would be deleted and replaced with the new one. So if an enemy with like 1,000 health gets hit for 15, 5 times, each time it gets hit, it will create a new hit marker and remove the old one. So now onto the test for the path. I'm going to run the code and show you the path's placement, and to be honest, you've already seen that. I don't need to do that, but I'll still do it as a pass. Um, I can tell because look, it's there, it's the path, it's the tan coloured line in the middle of the screen. There you go. That's all evidence you need for the path. We're now on to the coin tests. I'm going to show that the coin class code, and I'm going to explain what each thing does in it. And it should all be tested, like the upgrades and stuff. It deals with everything to do with the money in the game. So if I scroll up, I'll show you the coin class. Should be here. So this is the tower buttons in the shop. All three of them, the logic behind that. This is the text for the coins. This updates the text for the coins. And this holds the coins like as a variable. This is a pass. So the money transaction should work as intended. I will actually show you what happens if I buy a tower or if I upgrade a tower. So I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna buy this tower. Lost 100. Look, I've lost coins. Do that again. Should probably place down 2 towers. Yeah, if I place down 2 towers, I'm now 0. I've lost. I've got 200 coins to 0. Um, yeah, I'm getting money from killing the enemies. Once I get up to 200, I'll upgrade this tower, which costs 200s. There you go, look, I upgrade the tower. It now will do more damage and has a larger range. As you see, it's 22.5 now, rather than 15. So yeah, all the money stuff works. I think I forgot to show you the code for the tower. To do with what it does to the towers when you upgrade it. So it adds half the damage to the damage and adds 0.3 times the range to the range each time you upgrade the tower. So now we're on to the other tests. So this one should have tested previously. So I'm going to show you that if you can click on buttons, they work. You can place new towers. No need to test that. Okay. I'm going to show you the code for the main game class, and then I'll be done. It's the main game class. I'm just going to scroll down slowly so you can have a look. You can pause when I have a look at a certain bit. Everything I think is self-explanatory in the name of it. So obviously game loops to main game loop, remove dead enemies, removes dead enemies, tower attacks makes the tower attack, enemy movement makes enemy move. Round list has all the data for the rounds. Self-explanatory, prepares the game. Collisions deals with all the collisions. Get chords. This is something through the click event. So when you click using the bind, which is here, bind with the mouse 1 button, which is your left click, it will get the coordinates and see if there's a flag to say that a new tower is being placed, it will run the subroutine. If not, then it will check whether it's inside of tower to bring up its menu. So this test is a pass. Thank you for watching. Please give me a good mark. Like, subscribe to my channel if you want, and have a good day.